This is an Amiga 3000. My buddy Quinn just made a video and he uploaded it to YouTube a couple days ago. It's August 3rd, 2020, and I'm going to see if I have some good Amiga stuff left in my collection. I'm out in my garage, got my garage open, and I'm going to slowly pan around and see what I can find for you guys. Let's see, there's an Amiga 3000 stacked on top of an Amiga 2000 about 10 years ago. And if you're wondering what this wooden thing is here, that is the top of a wheelbarrow. In this Amiga 3000 and 2000, I replaced the batteries about 10 or 12 years ago, and it probably needs replacing again. Alright, let me pause and scoot around and check out what else I've got. Amiga collectors usually have lots and lots of stuff. Here is a box of Amiga hardware. I'd given all of my Amiga stuff away to a friend of mine, but he was not able to store it anymore, so he gave it back to me. So I'm going to go through it and see what I can find. He gave it back to me a couple years ago, and I put it into these boxes. So I guess it was more than a couple years ago. I actually labeled these boxes. As you can see, it says September 2016. Let's back up here a bit and see what else I've got. Oh, wait a minute. Right down below, we have an Amiga 1200. Of course, it's in the box. I will show these items here in this video, so you'll see. That's one Amiga 12000. Let's skip about a bit. There's a box full of PC stuff. There's a camera stand. I'm a big Astrocade fan, so you can see that I've got Astrocade stuff and more Astrocade stuff and more Astrocade stuff. My channel is called Bally Alley, so going up here, let me zoom in or get closer, and there's another Amiga 1200. I'm going to have to pause this here and show you the other side now. Just to give you an idea, I've got a mess here in this garage, probably like every garage. And underneath this backpack and broken down fishing pole, I've got, wait, what's this? What's this? Let's see if I can get in there. I've got an Amiga with a reflection on it, so it makes it really tense. What could this thing possibly be? Amiga CD32 in the box. Pretty cool. I got that brand new in about 2007 for $100 from China. And it's actually NTSC version, which I wish I thought it. I wish it was not. I wish it was a PAL version. And then here I've got probably 100 CDs of CD32 games. Nearly all of them are copies that I made back around 2008. Right, so I'm going to pause there. Now this is kind of sad. This is a trash bin full of 3 Amiga keyboards. The reason they're in here is because my friend who was borrowing this stuff gave them back to me, and they kind of smelled like smoke, so I put them in here with like a... Here, I'll dig around, see what I can find. So this is what I was talking about. These are the a 2000 keyboard and a 3000 keyboard. Of these 3, actually only one of them works completely. The other ones have dead keys. At the very bottom of this, oh, it's not working, it's too dark. At the very bottom, there's a thing that absorbs smoke. That's why they're in here. The smell of smoke is long gone. I guess I should take them out and maybe use these damn devices, right? My buddy Quinn, when he was making his video on the Amiga 2000, said he was into the Atari. That's one of my favorite home computers, probably the XL, 800XL and 130XE. I guess I should pan back and show what this is. A friend of mine passed away a couple years ago, and his wife called me about a year and a half ago and gave me a whole bunch of his collection. These are his magazines. Some of them were magazines I gave to him. So Atari 8-bit magazines, there's 9 boxes of these. Atari 8-bit magazines, more Atari magazines. That one's an Antic, you can see it. Let's see, what have we got here? More Atari magazines, and yet more Atari magazines. My wife and I were having a beer out here in the front while it was raining yesterday. And she was like, you know, Adam, you've got a lot of stuff, which I agree, I do. And I need to get that out of my collection. So some more Atari magazines as a truck passes by outside, and finally this is the last of the Atari magazines. I used to have a complete collection of most Amiga magazines, but I got rid of those on eBay years ago for probably $1 or $2 a piece. Well, this is a blank table, but in a few minutes hopefully you'll see a Amiga on it. Just wanted to show you a blank table. You might be able to hear the rain. I have my garage open. This is my driveway. This is the inner garage, halfway there. And in a second, I'm going to put an Amiga on the table. Not sure which one yet. Let's see what happens. That is my Amiga 1200. It's my original computer. I bought it for my first wife as an anniversary, or not as an anniversary gift, instead of a wedding ring. I'll zoom in on that sucker a little bit. I'll take it out of the bag here in a minute. My wife passed away in 2005. I still have this Amiga, and it's been through the hands of several people. I keep it in this plastic bag to protect it from the elements and things like that in the garage, you know. But in a minute here, I'll open it up and you can check it out. Zoom back out so you can see everything. Oh, in this bag in the background is the power supply for it, which I think, if I recall, I have two power supplies. One of them says Amiga 300, which is actually an early version of the power supply for the Amiga 600, but it was the original name of that machine was going to be the 300. Alright, if I haven't bored you to death, let's move on. Oh, this is my Amiga 1200 out of the bag. It's pretty yellowed. Can't really quite tell in this video too much, but it is. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, so maybe on some of the keys here. You can check it out. I will also embarrass myself by showing the other side of it. This is the bottom side of my Amiga 1200. I've added 4 feet because here is where the trap door is. Inside there is my 1230, I think it's called. I can't remember who makes it. It's not JVP, it's a kind of a generic one. It interferes with the PCMI slot in the side of the system. I'm going to zoom in here and show you what a hack job this is. Well, that is my trapdoor. This is actually the trapdoor from an Amiga 500 that I've drilled holes in, because the Amiga 1200 trapdoor does not really quite fit on this expansion. So it wasn't a very good expansion, but it was a very early one. It's, I think, one of the very first accelerators that were made for the 1200. Probably came out in like 92 or 93. Pretty old. If you had more than 4 megabytes of RAM in it, it didn't work properly with the PCMI, like I said. So there we go. I'm not going to open it up or anything like that, but I will show you the back of my unit. This is the back of my Amiga 1200. On the bottom we have the expansion port that's open. You can't really see it too well from this angle. Maybe I should lower this so you can see it a little bit better. But I will show that in just a moment. But from left to right we have the ports that are all hand labeled by someone I had originally sold this Amiga to in the 90s. This is the back of my Amiga 1200 again. I'm showing this because on the left hand side there used to be a SCSI port there. It's a blank hole now. If I remove that, I have a squirrel SCSI that I plug into the PCMI. I think I'm mistaken. While this Amiga can take up to 8 megabytes in it, since I used a squirrel for SCSI for my external CD-ROM, and whenever I used to have a zip drive hooked up to it, and some other devices, but now I just have 4 megs in here, which is fine because I'm not a power user or anything like that, and if I want to use a computer with more memory, I have a maxed out 3000 that I have installed 16 megabytes of zip RAM, which is you don't hear about too much anymore. But you've got the mouse, the G, which is for game port, the disk drive, the S for serial, P for parallel, then you've got the left and right audio, then the video, which is that weird 23-pin plug. Then we have RF out on this unit, which is pretty interesting. And what else you got there? The composite out. So you've got 3 outputs on here. I guess I hadn't thought about that before. And also the power supply on the far right-hand side. I want to do a close-up now of the front of the machine so you can see how grubby it is. So here is the beer I'm drinking currently. This is a elevated IPA from La Cumbre. If you ever get a chance to come to Albuquerque, you need to go there. Of course, right now is COVID-19 going on around us, so the brewery's closed, but you can still order takeout, so get it. You might be able to get it locally too. They do ship out of state, and it's in some stores around the southwest area of the United States. I am going to zoom in now to show you some ugliness. You can tell it's a little dirty. I'm going to probably have to do this in a couple steps so I can continue to focus, because I'll lose focus here in just a moment. And also, then I'm going to show you the inside of my disk drive. Not very pretty. You know, does it matter if the system's dirty? To some people. To me, I'd clean it up a little bit, get a little glass cleaner or something like that, and just wipe it down. It doesn't matter too much to me. I just want to use the system. But then again, there's the loss of focus. Let's focus in again. So this is my really yellowed Amiga 1200 keyboard. Though looking at the screen from the back of my camera, it doesn't look too yellowed. The case itself, it looks pretty like as my memory serves me from 1993 or 92 when I picked up this system. It looks like this, like it did. It looks white here, but the keys are quite yellowed. I'm going to zoom in so you can see how grubby they are. Why am I doing this? I don't know. Quinn's system looked pretty dirty, so let's see if I can show you how dirty this one is. If I get too much closer, it's going to lose focus completely. So I won't do that. Ah, there goes the focus again. This is the side of my system. My Amiga 1200 is pretty grubby. You'll also notice that there is a hole right here. What is that doing there? It's because I lent this to someone and they couldn't find all the screws, so they put in their own little place to put a screw. I took it out. If you saw how screwed up and used the system has been over the years, it's been through so many different people who've owned it and finally found its way back to me. The Amiga 1200 here in the United States was a pretty rare little beast. It was especially hard to find. I got it new at a local store back when they were still being sold, shortly before Commodore went out of business in what, 94? 93. I think I got it in 93, so Commodore went out of business not too long after anyway. I'm running out of daylight hours, so I'm going to show one last thing here. I've been listening to Joy Division here in the garage because Quinn and I used to listen to them in New Order and stuff, but I don't want to have that on the video because it will obviously maybe get pulled, and I don't want that to happen. So this drive is pretty wonky. When I press this eject, it doesn't quite eject properly, and I don't know if this is the one. This drive has failed on different occasions. For a while there, I had an Amiga 500 at this drive in here. And I don't know how many of you are really familiar with the 1200, but they don't fit. A 500 disk drive doesn't quite fit in here. So it was pretty rigged, and it worked, and the disc would barely go in and out. But hey, what are you going to do? You don't got any money, you make it work. Alright, let's zoom in. I want to show you some more grunginess here. Grungy, 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 grungy. Ah, lost focus. For some reason, I've kind of become obsessed with showing the grubbiness of this machine. I guess that's because it's an AGA machine, and despite all this, still functions. At least it did a year or two ago when I turned it on. I'm gonna probably try to turn it on the next couple of days and make a second video. I was planning to try to show some more of my Amigas tonight, but I'm running out of daylight, and unless I make some other room in this garage, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I'll probably wrap it up with this. If not, and there's more video to come, then you'll notice and you'll keep watching. Let's see how much further I can get and show you some grubbiness. Grubby, grubby, grubby. We don't probably want to end up on grubbiness. I'll show you the Amiga from the outside. You can check it out one last time. So let's zoom out. I'll show you the whole thing. You know, I would pan if I could, which I guess I can. Just put my beer back in there. Dun 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 dun. So, nice little 1200. You know, I like this machine. I did a lot of work with it, and I kind of miss using it with my first wife. Yeah, the Amiga brings a lot of memories to me, both Quinn and my wife. Alright guys, I might show up one more thing and see what happens. Okay, this is going to be it. This will snap everything together, put the last final touch on here, and I figured rather than go out without anything exact to say, here's the last word on the Amiga. Thanks, Commodore.